Over a year ago, I decided to make a video called A Short Rant on Cartoon Network's DVD releases. Basically, I made the video because I was, let's just say, very displeased with how Cartoon Network has been treating their cartoons when it comes to releasing them on DVD. And, yeah, I still think they're pretty weak. And it seems like posting that video was a good idea on my part, because that video, over the span of a year, has nearly garnered 1,000 views. And I figured, and this is something I've been planning for a while, but how about we talk about Nickelodeon's DVD releases and when their shows are released on DVD? And, yeah, let's just get right into it. Uh, to openly say it right from the start, I think Nickelodeon overall has done a better job at releasing their shows on DVD than Cartoon Network. However, they still have they still have a decent amount of problems, and I'm gonna focus on a lot of them. Well, specifically, I'm gonna focus on cartoons, but yeah, basically, we're gonna start with ones where they mostly got it down, and then slowly transition into the shows that they kind of just went retard on, and then ones where they got it right. Anyways, let's start off with one of them. Okay, so the first show that I have decided to take a look at for this is The Fairly Odd Parents, and this is all of the DVDs of the show that have been released officially, and not very impressive when it comes, or not very great when it comes to what has been released officially in stores. A majority of the DVDs on here have been basically solely focused on specials and a couple compilations, like Superhero Spectacle. That this is a compilation DVD containing episodes, and Timmy's Top Wishes, which is the creator's favorite episode of the show, or at least at the time. And we have this one solo kind of season release that has been released in stores, and it's the first volume of the sixth season. Although I don't think that the season was completed at the time, so it's understandable why it's only the first volume. However, when it comes to what's been released online, it's been better in terms of just the overall episodes, which we will talk about. Yeah, these two, well, Amazon has, well, for a while, until June 4th, they've pretty much had nearly every season of The Fairly Odd Parents available. These are not the Amazon sets, however, these contain seasons 1 through 5 of the show, or the first 5 seasons, which is very good. It's nice that they have these seasons available. Now, the Beyond Home Entertainment sets do not have the Jimmy Two Power Hour episodes, but the Amazon ones that you were able to get for a while, 4 and 5, did have, they did have the Jimmy Two Power Hours, and they're released in stores, so, yeah, and I do have those. And then Amazon went to release season 6, which actually is mostly the complete season. The only episode that is missing on this set is the Wishology, but that has a separate DVD as well, so it's not a complete issue. In fact, here it is. Season 7, which it's personally my least favorite of the seasons I actually cared about. But yeah, and then season 8, which, yeah, it is good that they have released most of the whole show when it comes to their DVDs, even if it's not technically in stores. However, this is the most recent season that has been released of the show, and it is from 2011, so they have not released the other seasons for this show since 10 years ago, so yeah, 9 and 10, you cannot get them on DVD, unless it's like bootlegs or whatever, but anyways, that is my look at the Fairly Odd Parents sets. Now to transition over to another Nickelodeon cartoon. Okay, so the next show I have decided we're taking a look at in this video is The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius. Now, on top, this is the movie. It is not technically a part of the show. This was pretty much how the show actually got started, technically, or how the series kicked off for the franchise. But, yeah, they Jimmy Neutron had let's just say, got handled worse by Nickelodeon than Fairly Odd Parents, because this is every compilation or DVD of Jimmy Neutron that's been released officially in stores. The first two are solely compilation DVDs. Well, the first one is actually a combination of two VHS tapes. Jet Fusion and Attack of the 20s, well, as you can tell, these are based on two of the specials. Again, although Jet Fusion does have a couple episodes that you can't really get anywhere else, which is cool. And Attack of the 20s, there's only like 4 to 3 episodes on here, so yeah, they handled Jimmy Neutron pretty badly when it comes to releasing on DVD. However, when it comes to how it's been released online, how did they release it? Well, they didn't do very well. In the US, I'm not counting the other countries, they have not released any full season. Only best of season sets, which not a huge fan of that, because they could easily release the whole show, but they choose not to. But yeah, the best of season 1. This does have most of the season 1 episodes, to be fair, but only one episode. There's only one new episode on here that hasn't been on any of the other ones, and some of the ones that are from season 1 on the other DVDs aren't on here, so there's that. Best of season 2. Most of the episodes are new on here, but again, a decent chunk of them have already been released. And best of season 3, which season 3 is my personal favorite. Okay, every episode on here is new, and it's most of them, or at least a decent amount of them, but there are quite a bit of episodes that got cut out from both season 2 and 3, and a lot of which are some of my favorite episodes, like When Liz and Kaboom. That episode's never been released on DVD. League of Villains, that was a really good special. Stranded, that hasn't been released. Yeah, they haven't done very well with releasing Jimmy Neutron. Now, there is a complete series set, but that is in Germany only, and it's pretty rare. And they did release season sets in Australia, but some of them are incomplete, or at least the first one is, so there's that. But, yeah, if you thought Jimmy Neutron was handled poorly by Nickelodeon when releasing the DVDs, well, time to transition into the next show, which is not a cartoon, but I think let's just move on. Okay, so the next TV show we're going to be focusing on is, again, it's not a Nickelodeon cartoon, but it is a Nickelodeon show, and it is Drake and Josh. And here's how it is when it comes to DVDs that have been released officially. Only 2 DVDs. Only one of them that contains actual episodes, and the other one, which is a movie, and contains a couple more episodes. However, there are DVDs out there of this show that are technically season sets, but I don't have them, but one, they're best of season sets, and 2, they still they still have that issue of, well, obviously leaving out episodes, which is just pretty horseshit. But, yeah, there was a volume 2 of Drake and Josh that was announced at one point, but they canceled it, which sucks, because they could have easily completed the first season. But yeah, and again, Amazon's Burn on Demand program is finally discontinued, so you can't get those DVDs anymore. And the best of season sets have already been discontinued for years, so there's that. But anyways, I did say Nickelodeon has done better with releasing their shows, and now for most of the rest of this video is going to be me praising what Nickelodeon has done with their DVDs. Anyways, let's move on to the next show. Okay, so this is one of the shows that Nickelodeon, well, I guess you could say Nickelodeon, has done right when it comes to releasing the show. The Ren and Stimpy show. Uh, yeah, this is pretty much every single episode of the show, and it's, well, I think there are some parts that have been cut out of these episodes, but when it comes to solely the episodes, they pretty much have all of them, and this is where I gotta praise Nickelodeon, because at least with shows like Ren and Stimpy, or, well, there is no Nickelodeon logo on these, but Ren and Stimpy was originally on Nickelodeon, and yep, like I said, this is pretty much the whole show. Seasons 1 and 2, all of them. Seasons 3.5-ish, it contains all of season 3 and the first half of 4. The second half of season 4 and all of season 5. So, yeah, all 5 seasons have technically been released. Now, there is a shrink wrap that came with this originally. Well, not when I got them, but there's a sticker that said the almost complete series, but I think what they're talking about by that is that there was another Ren and Stimpy show called The Lust, or Adult Party Cartoon, but I don't consider that part of the original Nickelodeon run, so there's that. But anyways, now let's move on to the next couple shows where they got it right. Okay, so to save time, I didn't just pull out one show. I decided to pull out other two, or two more that have complete series releases. But again, the top one, Invader Zim. This is not released by Paramount, as you can obviously see, but the people who released them, they got it right, because every single episode of the show has been released, and they're all on these DVDs. Volume 1 contains most of season, or at least most of season 1. Second volume continues more into it. Volume 3 has the rest of season 1 and the episodes from season 2. And yeah, on these DVDs, they also contain bonus features. But when it comes to the main episodes, yeah, again, they did a good job here. And now on to two that are just just straight up complete series releases. Danny Phantom. Now, unfortunately, when it comes to this show, originally until about 2014 or so, they did not release any of the show, just solely on those nitpicks. But eventually, Shout Factory came in and decided to release the whole show on DVD, and I liked that because, I mean, Danny Phantom is a really good show in my opinion. And then this one, Avatar: The Last Airbender, the complete series, they did very well with this one as well. Now, they did originally release the 3 books. Well, they're obviously not books, but the 3 seasons have been released separately. But in about, hold up, I don't know where the year is. Well, it's probably on the bottom. But until about 2014, they decided to repackage them as a complete series. And again, they did well with these. Now, there is another show that I will talk about, but I'm not going to pause here. But there are obviously shows on Nickelodeon that are still running, like SpongeBob, for example. But SpongeBob, they've been doing really well with this one. Well, I think it's probably because it's their most popular show, technically. But yeah, seasons 1 through 5 all been released. Seasons 6 and 7 are available, but I don't have them because I don't like them. But yes, those have been released. 8's been released. 9, 10, 11, 12, these have all been released as well. And this is pretty much nearly every complete season, or season that's been completed. Season 13 is still going. But yeah, and they've also repackaged some of these. Well, the first 100 episodes isn't a repackage, it's its own thing. But the next 100 episodes, this contains season 6 and 7. So yeah, but anyways, like I said, that this was inevitably going to be a long video, but yeah, I think Nickelodeon overall has done a better job at releasing their shows than Cartoon Network, and especially with Disney, because, well, I may do that video eventually. Hopefully doesn't take a year, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little look at video, and see you guys in the next one.